All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a brand new episode of the Me and Them podcast. One Time for Your Mind, episode 69. I am your boy with the rhyme. I am Savoy.
I'm Rayan.
And I'm Taryn.
I'm a fan.
You never fail me.
I'm a fan.
Oh.
You got my favorite number.
Yeah.
69.
Yeah, my favorite number.
So I had to make sure that I gave you something since last week you gave us something.
Wait,
You put a little stank on
I
it.
know, right?
I got one for. I just
You
thought
got,
about
you
it.
got one for 71?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, let's go. Anyway,
forget.
that's later. But anyway,
Ask me what I got.
What you got?
Not nada.
That's
Like
so
I put
bad.
At the end of the last video, I was like, we still waiting for Terrence's phrase.
Yeah.
It never came. So, she's about to do this shit. She never did it.
She never did it. I never did it.
And we just go like this and just watch her.
That's not going to help.
No,
I can
no.
tell you that. That's the equivalent.
Do it.
That's the equivalent of giving him compliments.
We're gonna write her lines on the palm.
Oh, yeah.
Read it.
Oh my God, yeah. Okay.
It's all sweaty,
Okay,
she can't
I'll
read
never
it.
do that again.
It's all.
Oh no, I'll
That's
never
what
do
it.
that. Ooh, that's ooh.
Oh, it's all sweaty. Can't read it.
No,
What's
no.
this?
She was saying like us like staring at her. Like
Oh, yeah,
that
of course.
Was like the equivalent when you guys were like saying nice things about me, and I was like, okay, please stop. Please
Oh,
stop. Please stop
please
it.
stop it.
Thank
Okay.
you.
That's like that's
my
why I
gosh.
like when we're doing karaoke, if we're on like a stage that has lights and shit and you can't see out. Like I know it's hot and whatnot,
but it's
if
like-
I like that's why I stand on the stage. Everybody's like, why don't you? You're like the hostess. Why don't you like walk around and stuff? It's because if I can see you, I'm gonna be like,
Yeah, you're right about
I
that.
I
don't
can
like that
I
shit
can
either.
still sing and I can still look at it. I don't care.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
lock it down,
yeah.
man. Good for you.
No, but it's hot on stage. That's why I stay off because it's hot on stage.
I know, but the lights in my
Yeah.
face, I can't see people
Oh, okay.
staring at me.
Blinded by the light. Yeah, see, that's the thing. So it's like,
Yeah.
I know people are out there looking.
And that's
But
fine, but as long as I can't see it
them
happening,
looking.
Yeah, that's
I can't see you, see me, see you.
Yeah,
see you see me sing.
You ever see somebody looking at you sing, but then you can't see them because of lights in your eye?
Then you can't see him.
Then you don't know if you're really singing 'cause you
don't
don't know
know
if
if
they're
you're
really
singing because
seeing
I don't know if you can hear him. You can hear him, but you can't hear him.
Oh my God. Y'all's nuts.
All right. So what happened this week? Anything
Woo!
good?
No.
By the time you guys hear this, Eternals will have been out.
Uh-huh.
And
Well, it's already out. It's out
it-
today.
It's out.
We ain't seen it
We
yet.
ain't
Wait,
seen it yet,
I'm
so-
gonna say it.
So
We're all gonna say
so
it.
there's that. But review wise, it's the worst rated Marvel movie in the
That's
whole
from like
MCU.
that's
as-
from
as of now.
Some stuffy
critics,
critics.
though, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's critic review. That's
Critic
not.
review.
That's
Yeah,
That's
I
not-
mean, you never know.
Fan or we'll see at the end of this weekend, next weekend.
Do you know
Right.
anybody that watches or doesn't watch videos based on critic reviews?
Me,
So why are you going to see this movie?
because I'm a big Marvel fan. I'll see every Marvel fan. Every
See,
movie.
I don't see every
So,
Marvel
no,
fan.
you
Marvel
don't.
fan? You?
What happened?
So you don't.
Yeah,
because this
'cause-
is the worst rated.
Yeah.
fuck?
That's what I'm
Kiss
saying.
my
That's what
ass.
I'm saying. So,
So-
it
yeah.
doesn't matter.
So that
to
Doesn't
you.
matter.
No, I mean like people will if it's highly rated or highly acclaimed or whatever wording you
I'll
want.
judge it myself.
They will go see it.
Oh yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Or there's people who are like, oh, I heard it was trash. I'm not gonna go see it.
Right.
There was only one movie that's like comic book related that I didn't see, that people told me to see because it was so trashy. Was that Fantastic Four reboot with Michael B. Jordan? I've never seen it, and it's on a streaming platform right now. I still don't want to see it because it's that bad.
Yeah, it's not. I mean,
People want me to see it just to be like,
there's
But I don't
worse-
need to.
There's worse movies in the world than
Oh, yeah.
that one.
Oh, yeah.
But in terms of Marvel franchise movies, yeah, that one's bad. But it's not any worse than necessarily the first iteration of Fantastic Four.
I dig those two better
yeah,
than
those were cool.
Yeah,
But looking back at it now, it's like, man,
yeah
this
it's
is-
true. Yeah, it was true. It's
So
trash.
I mean, I think that's what the reboot is. It's just
Yeah, because Galactus is not a cloud. I was upset about that. That's how he looks like.
yeah,
Silver Surfer looked great. I'm like, that's how he's,
yeah. Well,
What else happened this week?
yeah. What else is going on this week? Oh well, this interview that we're watching.
Is that recent? Is that like now?
That came out yesterday.
Okay.
So if you know what we're talking, well, because
I was like, they can't see it.
Yeah, I'll get into it because it relates to the topic that we're going to speak about. So yeah, we'll talk about that later. Anything else? Anything fun, exciting and new?
No, but
Come
like,
aboard.
it's not exciting, and it's not. I mean, it is kind of new, and it's not exciting.
All right,
But
well, hit me with it.
what the fuck is the
shit.
appeal of Pete Davidson?
Well, what'd he do?
I know exactly where this is coming from.
What'd he do?
Okay, so you want me to tell him or you want to tell him?
So him and Kim Kardashian.
Oh, yeah.
Well, let me clear this up. Him and Kim Kardashian West, because
she ain't dropped
first
the
of all,
last
she
name.
ain't dropping the last name. She stated that very clearly, and there's no divorce papers, which we found out today.
Yeah.
But anyways, they were together and at like a theme park in like a picture, and they were like holding hands, and everybody's like, "Oh my god!" And I was like, you know what? The ride, it's the final drop. Like maybe she just needs somebody.
But yeah,
and they're just like friends or whatever. Okay, fine. But now they've been like. They kissed in something on like SNL or whatever.
Yes, that's where that picture is.
That
of
was a
Aladdin
skit?
and, yeah, it was Aladdin and Jasmine, and they kissed.
So that was a
skit.
skit.
That was a
but
skit. But
now they've been seen out like having dinner together. And then I saw an article which I didn't read where Kate Beckinsale explains the appeal of Pete Davidson. Has she been with him?
Yeah.
That explains that.
Anybody in their 20s, Kate Beckinsale has been with.
She's hot though.
But I'm saying,
like,
her with Pete Davidson, like, what is the fucking appeal of this man?
Like Ariana Grande, they almost got married.
Yeah, that's all they.
And then he was with Kate Beckinsale. He was with Larry David's daughter, Cassie David, for a while.
He has a great list of women, but his appeal, I have no idea. He looks like a regular dude.
Well,
he is.
Maybe that's the appeal.
I think no, that or he's very sarcastic in his jokes. And I love his jokes.
he's a regular. He seems like a regular guy.
Yeah,
and he's funny.
he's funny. Yeah, he's his moments.
And he's tall.
But
he got money.
Yeah, but he's goofy. But he, attractive way he's goofy looking to me.
No, I think so too. But a lot of times,
I ain't mad at him.
Women are different than men in that aspect of that. It's hard for a man to be like, she, whatever, but her personality and this, like, you have to like get to know them. Women to be like, no, he's not the best looking, but he does this.
You know what, though?
I think is that not true?
It is true, but I think that men say that, but other things attract them before looks a lot of times, because there are girls that I've seen reeling dudes, and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? And it's because I reeled you in because I'm a fucking badass on the inside.
Right.
Maybe this enclosure that keeps it all in is not A plus whatever. It does not match the algorithm for
inside is fire.
symmetry of the face that equals attractiveness. Because that's a thing.
Fire.
I don't know if you know
Right.
that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think guys that's the natural like thing for them is like, oh man, she's banging or she's hot or whatever. Because let's say your friends were like, Taryn ain't all that. Like, what? They're not going to say that to you.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't matter. I mean, aside from the respect, like, let's say that y'all were all the same age and they could say whatever the fuck. First of all, they're not going to say she's banging because you're dating her. Second of all, they're not going to say she's ugly, whatever, because you're dating her. And even if you did, they know I'm cool now. So, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, I think when they talk about how hot girls are, or, his girlfriend's so hot, or I think it's all talk. I don't think that's the immediate reaction.
I agree with that too.
I agree with that. I just was wondering
I think that's just.
It seems like, not to say that it doesn't happen for both men and women. I just think that women are more out in the open with
what they
being
really
okay
see,
with that.
Being in
the guy can be like
fields,
B, C average in looks, but
but the other
everything
things,
else is like fire.
Yeah, I think women are more open and honest with that part of themselves when it comes to significant others and attraction or whatever.
Yeah.
As opposed to men they feel like, oh, she has to be.
I would say some women they take attraction as a backseat because like the dude treats them so well. Like he treats me so good. He ain't the business guy, but damn, does he treat me like a damn fucking queen? And that makes a woman feel way better than just like, oh, I'm all about eye candy.
Right.
Boom.
I mean, that's how everybody should feel.
Yeah.
Like, everybody should be like, doesn't matter necessarily what they look like on the outside.
Yeah, but
to other people, it's like how they look to you.
Yeah, but most of the world is shallow and vain.
You're not lying.
There's somebody for everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody needs a little love.
Everybody needs
But
it. I
anyways.
don't know if they're going to get it, though. But that's another.
Hey, yeah, some people are
another
just
topic for another
assholes. You
day.
don't deserve that. But any hooser.
Some people are ugly on the inside and on the outside.
True that.
I think it's
so-
worse to be
so what do you
ugly
do?
on the inside
It
than it is
is.
to be ugly on the outside.
Once you find out, you're like, ew. Like, I don't never want to see you again.
you can't
It's
be
not
both.
even dating. It's
No,
like
yeah,
it's
just in
people
general.
in
Yeah.
general. When I know
Yeah.
you're an
Yeah.
ugly person or
Uh-huh.
you're
Yeah.
rude
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
whatever, like I'm just like,
If you're rude just for the fuck of it, fuck
Ew.
you. Fuck
You can't be both though.
you. What?
You can't be ugly on the inside and on the outside.
Yeah.
That means you bringing nothing to the game.
Yeah, well,
You just I
That's your
can't.
ass.
I don't want to look at you
That's
because
your
you're not
ass.
appealing, and then I don't want to be around you because you're not appealing. So it's like
you better be an antisocial, workaholic, super intelligent person.
emo,
or you better
Ready
be,
to be by
live in the
yourself.
you
woods,
better be
live in the
fucking
woods by
rich.
yourself.
and you better have all the monies.
All the monies.
But that's just me. I'm sure there's an ugly person on the inside and the outside who got somebody.
Yeah,
that
and
love
you-
them.
and
So,
you
I mean,
vain
And they
as
are
hell.
probably rich. That's the thing.
And everyone's just mooching on you just because you got money. That's what you get all the
That's
fake
such
friends.
a fucked up concept.
Yeah, I know,
but
you get
yeah.
all the fake friends.
You know what? I mean, I understand it as I'm about to say it, but I just always just wondered. So, let's say, for sake of argument, I had $1 million, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now Ray's like, oh shoot, that dude got $1 million. We used to kick it back in the day. I'm gonna say something to him now, and then he like wants to hang out with me because does he think that by
Reintroducing myself to you.
that like
that.
he's gonna get something from me? Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him money or buy something? Is that the thought process of people?
Most
Well,
people-
I
yeah.
think
money?
I think so.
I think people like let's say you didn't have a lot of people in your life, and he's like, well, let me see if I can jump in here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Sorry, Ray, you go digger.
I'm
In the scenario.
thinking of this
Okay.
as I'm speaking
That's cool.
because I
Right.
I'll go dig all
can't.
day.
I don't think like that. But
Right.
the only way I can think of it is, it's like, well, I don't have any friends anyways, but I want to do this, so I'll pay for us to do that. We're gonna go out and have some drinks. Oh, don't worry, I got it.
Oh, okay. I got you.
I really want to go have a guys trip in fucking, I don't know, the Bahamas or whatever, or Costa Rica, or I don't know. I'm just throwing somewhere out there.
Okay.
Right.
But the friends that I have can't afford it, but he's down to go if I'm going to pay for him. So don't worry,
Right.
I got it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know that that's how they think. I don't know that. I mean, how fucked up is that?
It is
But
fucked up.
that's the only thing I can think
But-
of. Because it's not like I'm going to hand you money.
Right.
But
it's-
you're covering everything anyway. He doesn't have to see the money.
No,
Every-
I know what you guys are saying, and
Right.
I agree with that. But that's from the perspective of the person that has the money and is looking for companionship because maybe they don't have
Well,
it.
but
what about the
I'm
other
also
way
saying the
around?
other way around. He knows
Uh-huh.
that, let's say you don't have any guy friends that are always down to do shit, or maybe your guy friends have kids now and they can't just ride with you wherever.
Right.
But if I sneak up in here,
If I shimmy my way into this,
if I become close enough and I'm
Yeah.
like, oh man, I can't swing it, and you're like, oh, don't worry, I'll cover it. Maybe that's what they're hoping for. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
right,
saying?
right,
Like,
right.
I'm not.
right?
I'm not saying from the rich person's perspective,
You're
because
coming from the
for
from the other
me,
side.
I would be like blocking the bullshit. Like
Right.
when I'm rich,
Well, see that's
good luck getting close to me, because that shit ain't
I
gonna
was gonna be
happen.
slick and smart.
To the moon.
Yeah,
If I was gonna be
get the
slick and
fuck out of my
smart, I
face.
would, on certain occasions, be like, if we're having drinks, I would like break out my wallet to look like I'm about to pay, and if he stops me, look, I got this, bro. I'm like, at least he shows I made an effort. I'm
Oh.
like, oh look, I'm willing to pay for our shit. Oh, he's
Slick.
down. That's how you fools. You know, I'm thinking. You know,
You know what's gonna happen? I'm gonna remember that shit next time, and I'm gonna make him pay for that shit. I'm gonna make him pull that shit all the way out and watch it go through, and him be like, "Fucking shit."
Give me look.
I'm just kidding.
no, I'm getting it when she not even learn.
It's funny though.
Yeah,
He knows when it's his turn, so it's
Yeah.
fine.
It's all good.
I'm just talking
Yeah.
shit.
I mean, I understood the concept. I just sometimes am trying to go in the mind of somebody. It's like, do you really think that if you do this at this person.
Yeah, it's gonna be like,
is
oh shit,
not obligated.
here's
not
all
the
that
word,
money that
but-
we you know,
Well,
yeah.
Yeah,
Let me
like I
a-
got $1 million. I don't know if you noticed, but so here's half. Like, dude, like
They're not gonna do that.
No, but
I
they're
know,
hoping
but-
for. Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
Like the hope is for
The
that
intention,
person,
Right.
The intention could be somewhat good, but it's also
Right,
shady
like that. Yeah.
as well. So
Yeah,
Or they're
that was
hoping to be around long enough to be like, hey, can I borrow $100,000 or whatever?
Oh,
like,
yeah, right,
you know,
right.
I don't know.
Hey, I got a business idea.
Oh, I
yeah,
know,
yeah.
I know
Wink,
quite a
wink.
few people who.
Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god.
But let me ask you this: let's say we have rich friends.
Okay.
I don't think I would be friends with people who are financially out of my league.
Yeah,
Because what Kevin Hart said is
stay in
no
your
fucking
financial lane.
joke.
Stay in your financial
Because
then
it's like they're gonna make you have to pay for all this shit,
Yeah.
and rightfully so. Like
Right,
yeah.
you drank it, you ate it, you whatever. Like rightfully so.
Right,
You
of
should
course.
never expect anybody else to pay for your shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I'm not gonna act like I can keep up if I cannot.
yeah.
Yeah.
I am not going broke because I need to be friends with you.
Yeah. That's-
Like
that's-
I'm either gonna really tell you like, oh nah man, you guys go. And if you ask me why, I'm going to fucking tell you.
Yeah.
I am not in your financial lane
Yeah.
yet. I can't be out spending money.
That's the one thing.
But then I don't want to tell you because I don't want them being like, oh, don't worry about it, I got it. I don't want that shit either.
But if you tell them, hey, look, we're gonna go do this. Yo, that sounds like a lot of fun, but I can't do it. So you guys have fun. Are you? Yeah, like, I can't do it. But then what if they insist?
Yeah, when they're like,
You know me. I
don't
only
worry.
give you 2.
Yeah.
I only give you 2.
What do you mean?
No, it's just like, oh,
Hey,
you say you
like-
can't cover, but like, hey, don't worry, I got it. Don't worry about it. I got you.
Yeah,
Let's go.
You know, it
You
sounds
don't
like a
worry
lot
about
of
paying me
fun.
back. Nothing. Let's
I
go.
don't. I can't swing it. So maybe this time. No, or not this time.
I think
Don't
it
worry, I
would.
got you.
I think it would depend on the
Are you
actual
sure?
friendship.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah.
You sure? Okay, that's your 2. I asked you,
yeah.
are you sure twice?
I know, but for me, it's not. I would not say yes unless it's somebody that I know I have some type of reciprocal relationship with.
Right,
because
right.
I could never use somebody like that in that. Like, I mean, even though they insisted, I still would feel like, I don't know, I just wouldn't feel good about it.
No, I.
For me,
I-
it's just not for me. Like
I agree.
I'm not,
No, I'm
I'm
with you with
not,
that. Yeah.
I'm not bagging on anybody that has friends that pay for their shit or whatever. Like, I mean, we'll go out and they'll pay, and then we'll pay the next time. So like we alternate or whatever.
Right.
But I already know that the next thing you're gonna do as a rich person is already something out of my budget.
Yeah.
So that's why I can't. It's not like this isn't the I'll get you back next time. No,
Right.
sir, I can still not afford to get you back next time.
Right.
Like,
Like,
so
hey,
I
like,
just
come on, some boy, buy a boat.
yeah, like what?
You
No,
got it all out.
like no, bro. Like I can't.
know.
I don't even have a house here. He wants me to buy a boat.
Yeah,
No, I'm not doing that. Get out of here.
yeah. So
Hey, get your boat and float on.
the insistent thing, I would. It would really depend on the friendship, and it would like if it was, like if it's your birthday and I can't afford to do the expensive thing that you want to do, I'm definitely not saying
Oh,
yes.
Yeah.
I would say, hey, we can go to a low key dinner or whatever.
We can do
some
something
other
low
time.
key
Something that I can afford.
before or after your actual.
Yeah,
and
whatever
we're
you're
good.
doing. Yeah,
we
like
spend time, we're good.
I cannot.
It's just gonna be you though. I can't afford
Just
you, and,
you, yeah.
and your peers and your
Yeah, it's
family.
just gonna be
Just
us
you.
two because we're gonna hang out.
Yeah.
Then you do your big old thing with the other people.
Right. You're gonna have 2 drinks
The minimum.
and an entree, because that's what my budget will allow.
I was like, maybe dessert.
Yeah, we can go half on the dessert.
We gonna
depending
half on that,
depending
on
who
that-
eats
It's
what.
gonna be
on
free.
the
It's birthday.
Zambuki cookie.
Oh yeah,
or some shit.
it'll be free. I got free.
It's Pazuki, right?
Pazuki.
First
I don't
of
even
all,
know-
get that shit right.
Hey.
You cannot fuck up Pazuki. He said Zambuki.
Zambuki.
I know,
You
whatever.
cross Zamboni with
What's the other word? Go ahead. Tell me what it
Sambuca.
Oh, I did.
Oh, look, she got you. Huh? Look, say the other word. She got your ass.
was a drink.
Sambuca is the disgusting
Back in the tagging
alcohol.
boss. Got your ass.
Got him. He thought I didn't have it.
No, I
and
didn't.
guess what? I had it.
Had his ass. Say the other word.
It was there, and I'm like, I know it's fucking there. He's like, say the other word. I was
Say
like,
the other word.
don't you fret, sir.
Wasn't that that drink that Cat Williams said when
Tastes like
it
shit?
was like coffee?
Sambuca?
It was,
Yeah.
That's what it was,
No,
right?
It was like-
Zambuca is.
Isn't it coffee and like?
It
That's-
tastes like black licorice and it smells like black licorice
What?
and it's like a cloudy white.
If
It's
it's-
disgusting.
Oh, right.
It is disgusting.
I just pictured it
It
in my head.
looks
I'm
like
like, yeah.
black licorice. It smells like black licorice.
But it's white.
black licorice.
But it's white.
It's white black licorice.
White black licorice.
How do we get here?
I don't.
Because
Sambuki?
he
That's
said
the word.
instead of Pazuki, he said
So yeah,
Sambuki.
I knew where I was going
Sambuki.
with it, but I forgot the name of the damn cookie thing.
Yeah.
Oh, he said
Yeah.
Zamboni. And I was
Zambuna.
like Zamboni and Sambuca.
Zanzuki.
Yeah. That's what he said.
Sanzuki.
Zambuki.
Oh my God.
It was somewhere there.
Yes,
Yeah.
Pazuki.
But
Yes,
anyways.
we gotta stop saying that.
That
They're not
P
paying
that
us.
P is silent.
They're not paying us.
It's a type, it's not a brand, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Because we've been to other places where they have that same dish, but they don't call it that because that's not.
Oh, it's not registered. Oh, you mean the dish. I thought you were
Yeah.
talking about the alcohol.
No. The
No,
cookie
no.
dish.
Well,
ice
the
cream
cookie
shit.
dish is fucking delicious.
It is fucking
is.
amazing.
Aside from a brownie warm with ice cream, it's up there.
Yeah, it's good as fuck.
But anyways,
It's good as fuck. So anything else before we?
Nah.
Nah, we good. All right, so
Chilled.
like we do at this time before we get into today's topic. Sorry.
no.
We take our shots.
Bug check.
Yeah, bug check.
All right, now we're good.
All right, so like you said, before we get into the topic, we take a shot. So take a shot with us, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be alcoholic. It could be a non-alcoholic beverage if you like. So, cheers, everybody.
Salutations.
Drink up, have fun, be
Be
merry.
merry. Cheers. Boys and girls and world.
Cheers,
Universe.
bitches.
Bitches.
I had to re-say it for Kanye because he had to apologize for saying it. But no, sometimes you just gotta say bitches.
Say it all the time.
That's right. I was like, what did he apologize
I'm
for?
just
I was like,
saying
what did you
bitches
say?
because
Did you
I don't
say
know
What's
your
up, my
names
bitches?
individually.
Because I don't know your names individually.
But it's not singled out to women. Like
No,
I go, what's
right.
up, my bitches?
Yeah.
That's
Like
what-
it doesn't
yeah.
even matter.
That's what people have to realize now is that bitch isn't
It's not just for.
now
It's not.
nowadays. It's not specific.
I mean,
To
if somebody
one-
said don't call me that, I mean, I'm not
yeah,
gonna
of
be like,
course.
fuck you, bitch. Like
Yeah,
I'm gonna be
don't
like,
call me
oh,
a
okay.
bitch. All right, well, don't be one. I won't call. No, okay.
I'll be like, all right.
The reason
all
why you were
right, all
called
right.
a bitch because you were acting like one. That's the only reason, you know.
It's not. It's not. Can I even say gender specific?
What a bitch.
Yeah. Can I?
Yes.
I'm just trying to. I'm
I
just,
did-
I'm
you
just
know- you
trying
know
to-
what?
Gender is
You know, bitch is gender fluid.
Yes, I like that.
There it is.
That's right. It is.
either one I think would have been right. It's not gender specific and it's
And it's
gender
gender
fluid.
gender fluid. Okay.
Because you can.
I think that would be
that could
kind
go
of
in.
I'm
synonymous.
gonna just go with gender fluid.
Yeah, I like
That's
that.
good.
I
I
like
think.
that.
I think that saves us from getting canceled. I don't know if you know.
No, fuck cancel culture, man. I'm sick of
okay.
this
I know,
shit.
I'm sick of it too.
You know what? Who finally fucking said it? Who was it? Dakota Johnson.
Oh yeah.
Who in the
She
heck
said-
is that?
That
I'm
is
sick
the-
of cancel culture.
No, who's Dakota Johnson?
50 Shades of Grey.
Oh, okay. The
Uh,
main chick in the first
Yeah,
movie?
in all the
Hawn-
movies.
Goldie Hawn's daughter, right?
No, Goldie Hawn's daughter.
Goldie Hawn's daughter is
is what's
Kate
her-
Hudson.
Yeah.
Who's the other one?
Does she?
Her mom is somebody famous, and so is her dad.
It's you know what it might be because it's her dad
It's
is Don
before.
Johnson.
Yeah,
Oh.
It might be Goldie Hawn Don
it
Johnson.
is Goldie Hawn, right? I'm pretty sure it is. But
Yeah.
anyways,
But I
so
digress.
they asked her about, I forget who it was, because there's other people that she worked with prior that have sexual allegations against them.
Daughter of actor Don Johnson and Melanie Griffin.
Oh,
Melanie
there you
Griffin,
go.
There you go.
That's what I meant.
But I mean, you
Totally
was,
what
you
I
was
meant.
right.
Yeah, you was
as-
there, you were there,
You was in the realm.
Yeah, you got it. Ball out.
Old blonde white ladies. It's fine. I'm white. See that?
say that.
I can say whatever the fuck I want.
Bitch.
Man,
Okay.
I got two white friends.
Fuck you, because you ain't shit. See?
She basically said like she's tired of cancel culture, and like I get it,
But
and it put me in the middle because at first I was like, yeah, I'll cancel that fucker, but like now I'm kind of in the middle
aggressive.
because I'm like, are people too sensitive? And her reasoning was that she's like, I want to believe that like people can change.
Right.
But I think they need other circumstances to change, because I think a lot of times the circumstances that they're in, the circumstances of money and power and all this shit,
doesn't change.
Give them the entitlement to do the things that get them canceled.
Right.
So I'm on the fence.
Yeah, I can see that. Because if you cancel somebody because they did something they shouldn't have done, then you have to take away everything that enabled them to think that they could do that wrong thing, and then see if they will actually have some contrition and be like, okay, my bad, I fucked up. Now here's what I'm doing to try to make it right.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you can uncancel them, or at least give them a shot to have redemptive qualities.
I made a little
my man Ye
redemptive
said.
qualities.
Redemption.
But yeah, I agree. I mean, I think there's certain people that need to not be in the position that they're in anymore, for sure.
For them to say certain things, you know.
People who have shown a pattern to continually abuse their power, there isn't a whole lot for you to do to be able to come back from that. You shouldn't be able to come back from that unless you paid your debt to society, essentially like going to jail.
Yeah.
Until you have righted those wrongs in the eye of public opinion, or the people you've wronged, then you don't deserve redemption. So.
Definitely not. But I just don't think that. I think the new thing, especially with social media, is that you are guilty until you're proven innocent.
Yeah,
big
pretty
time.
much.
Someone
And
can
it's
say
like,
anything. You did
and
that
it's
shit.
like, well, wait. Maybe I didn't.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah, you were hanging out with that guy. I saw you kissing him. Excuse me, sir. No, I was not. Like, I didn't even get a chance to defend myself before this shit was all over. Like,
Exactly.
you know, so
Yeah.
I don't know. That's just my
Yeah,
thoughts.
The court of public opinion is crazy because all
It's a
somebody
fickle beast.
right? Because all somebody has to do is allege that you did something.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if there's anything substantial behind it.
Yeah,
All someone has
because
to
then
say is,
one thing and it can snowball.
yeah.
Because look at the allegations on, like, WWE wrestlers or football players or basketball players, what it's done to them. Like, you're suspended until they figure this shit out. Baseball players,
Right.
You're suspended until they figure this shit out.
Yep.
And it's like, well, what if those allegations are not true?
Right.
What if this bitch, male or female, because it's gender fluid,
she's going crazy.
is trying to get money from me?
Right.
Like, you never really know. And I know
Yeah.
that percentage is a lot lower.
Oh, for sure.
No.
False
Yeah.
accusation percentage is a lot lower than actually the sexual assault and the rape actually have happened. I know that. But
Yeah.
I just...
That doesn't mean that it doesn't happen.
It doesn't mean that
doesn't
it's
make
like...
it right. You don't...
She said this. Holy crap. It's like that...
Yeah.
What is it? The baseball player?
Yeah, Trevor Bauer.
We're finding out that's the story she told is not actually what happened. Now that we've seen all of the sides, and we're talking about front, back, and in the middle. So it's like,
I don't like people who like go right off the bat, like listen to one side and then they're like, it's the truth. I'm like, no, you gotta listen to both.
Right.
Do you?
Because a lot of people just be like, once tell the
which
story, it'll
kind
be
of goes into
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
listening to both sides.
Right. So, so Ray's saying that listening to both sides before you
make a judgment
make
or
a judgment or come to
conclusion or some shit.
come to a thought. I mean, I guess this is similar to it, but we're just gonna dive right into it.
It's like, how willing are you to listen to both of those sides?
Right. Right. So, if there are two sides of the story, I always feel like when you hear one side, a lot of people, I think, if you hear the one side first, that's the opinion that you're most likely going to agree with because that's the one that came out first.
Right.
Right.
And
Well-
so, I mean, not to say that that's right, but I think that's the human condition.
That's
is,
what you're going into with me.
yeah, because you're not going into
Yeah.
okay, well, let me.
You're not
okay,
going
I
in-
heard this.
yeah.
Move that over here. Now let's hear this, and then you always keep that first one in the back of the mind. And you're like,
Yeah. But then
so now you're comparing.
Yeah,
Instead of just hearing it and sounding and seeing which one up against each other sounds more plausible.
Right.
And
or
so
if,
I think that's
scenarios match what the other person.
Yeah.
Then you're like, okay, that makes sense.
So I
but
think
yeah.
when you hear things like that in the media, the first thing you do is go, oh, like that's crazy. Like that's kind of the race to get it out there first.
Right.
Because they know that in the court of public opinion, that thing that comes out first, that's where everybody's going to gravitate towards first.
But,
so you have to come up with something crazy to overtake that, and that becomes
But the
truth.
one thing I love when it comes to something like that, I want confirmation, I want verification. So if I'm going to hear one side of the story, I need to hear from the other person to confirm or deny or or anything before I make a choice of like you're right, you're wrong, or y'all are both fucked up.
Okay, so this time we'll bring it to the top right now.
Okay.
So let's say
I didn't do it.
no, but let's say
But you did.
So let's say someone.
It was like that when I got here.
So let's say you heard accusation about somebody, right?
Uh-huh.
You've heard these things about someone.
Right.
So now in your mind you've built up this idea of who this person is.
Right.
And you're like, man, I wouldn't trust that person for anything. I don't like what they stand for. I don't like this. I don't like that. Right? Then this person says something and puts it out in the world that makes a lot of sense. Can you separate the message from the messenger? Let me get an example. Well, okay. Well, this came about because we watched the Ye interview on Drink Champs, and I'm just gonna call him Ye because that's what he's going by now. He's said and done some controversial things in the past, as we all know. You know, the MAGA hat and the slavery is a choice, and the Taylor Swift thing, and so all that stuff. So we know the pattern and the path, the history of this man, right? So this has been a big issue all on social media because of the things that he said during this 2.5 hour interview. And so he said a lot of things that, like, a lot of information that you and I didn't know that he put out there. It's like, wow, that's crazy. Like, I would have never thought that he.
And we're talking about not just like basic info about like inside beefs with other artists or whatever. We're talking about like history, things from history that you go, wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
And like history and fashion and like art and all kinds of ish, right? So that goes towards the education and the history of this man. A lot of people I don't even think know he has a PhD. Like, so aside from all of that,
so for instance, he talked about classism. Being able to try and get rid of classism, trying to get people together, because he understands that when you're divided, you're more powerful when you're together. You're easier to take down and manipulate when you're divided, right? So a lot of the overtone of this was come together as a people and being united, and we're God's children and beings of light and all this kind of stuff, right? And so the classism part, which is one of the first things he started talking about, I saw on the timeline, social media, a lot of people were like, we don't want to hear that from you because the man's a billionaire. And so I think it's hard for people, along with everything that he's done, to now say, oh, well, you're talking about getting rid of classism, but you're a billionaire. How could you want to get rid of classism when it benefits your overall agenda because now you're a billionaire?
But why would I even say that if it benefits me?
Right.
So now, which is the topic of this whole thing, it becomes, are you not wanting to listen to what he's saying because he's a billionaire? Are you not wanting to listen to what he's saying because it's coming from Kanye, who you've heard all this controversy and all this other ish about, and he was wearing a MAGA hat or whatever. Whatever, however you pronounce it. So,
no, you got it.
Can you separate the message from the messenger? So can you take what he says, or anybody else for that matter, and separate that from
his status,
the fact that it's coming from a certain person and what their status is and whatever? Because the truth of the matter is, if it's facts or if it's a good idea, it's facts and it's a good idea. It's like something I've kind of been dealing with. It's like within a company, sometimes you have employees on, just on the floor, they're not middle management, they're not upper management, coming up with these ideas, and they're not being heard because they're not in a leadership role because of who they are.
Right.
But that shouldn't matter. What should matter is if it's a good idea, it's a good fucking idea.
Right.
Yeah. And if it benefits the company, then you hear it out.
Right.
You know
So,
what I mean, just because it came from him, not from you, don't be an ass about it.
Right, but that's what we're. But that's.
Yeah.
but
that's
can
the
you
whole
take
point.
what he said about, let's say, classism, for instance, and acknowledge what he's saying and think about it and maybe even learn about it in a way that you're like, wait, maybe that does make sense.
Right.
Or are you like all of these are the people on Twitter where you're disregarding this because it's coming out of Ye's mouth?
Right.
If it don't matter who you are, if it sounds reasonable or sounds fair or makes sense, I'm with it. I can't. To me, I feel like I can't separate it. I'm like, you know what, that makes sense, even though I don't like.
What if it's too above you or too advanced and you don't know anything about it?
Oh, then I want to learn about it.
Because we were talking about
That
this
should be the
also.
response too.
Yeah, I want to learn about it.
That should be the response.
Yeah.
But we were also talking about how I feel like he's preaching to people who are not on his intelligence level.
Right.
Like, to me, if you sit down and you talk to him, like we said, the shit he throws out there, the things he knows about history and art and politics and music, and we're not just talking about, like, these basic little beefs and social media and, famous people shit. Like, we're talking about real shit.
Right.
That you're like, holy shit, like,
Right.
only an intelligent person who studied and done all this shit would know.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people don't know that.
Yeah.
So
Right.
their immediate reaction is like, that doesn't make sense. He's fucking crazy. I'm not
they
listening to
They
this.
just see his
Yeah.
persona that he's put out there, and that's it for them.
Right.
Right.
You know, because
Right.
he can spit facts all day long. I'm like, nah,
Right.
nah, that's not him.
Like if he went there and said, okay, everything I'm going to tell you right now is true. You can research it for yourself. It's out there. That's just how I learned it. And he sat down and he laid out everything that he
There
was
would
going to
still be
say.
people.
Yeah, there'll still be people that don't want to learn it.
and-
Like, no, I won't
Yeah,
believe him.
and they were like, we checked what he was saying, and this is 100% facts. There would still be some people out there who were like,
Yeah.
I don't care if it's facts. I don't want to hear from him.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of the issue, and I think that's hard for people to understand or to be able to do, which is separate the thing because another instance is like the art from the artist. I think that's really hard for people.
I think that's a lot harder, especially like what we talked about when you go back to like cancel culture and they've canceled somebody and their art's fantastic.
Right.
Right.
Like when they've done something super controversial, like
R. Kelly.
like R. Kelly, for example, it doesn't mean that his R&B tracks or his albums or his writings or his music or whatever weren't good.
Right.
But now there's a lot of people like, oh, we're not doing that. I'm not listening to him, this, that, and the other.
I can't. I mean,
Oh, I don't.
I
But
can't.
I'm just saying, like,
I
there's...
I miss it.
I miss it. Yeah, I miss
And
it, but I
that's the
can't
problem.
anymore.
So,
I can't step in the name of love no
No,
more.
I can't remix.
You know what I'm saying? You can't remix. You can't put.
Damn.
You can't remix Ignition.
Yeah, that was my go-tos.
You know what I'm saying? It can't be the same girl.
It can't be the same girl.
Like
Oh
we
my
can't
God.
do it. You know, your body can't call.
All right.
Your mind can't tell you. Knowing your body tell you.
I can't be contagious anymore.
and that's crazy because
You know,
that's where your
Get
own
my-
moral compass comes in.
Right.
can't my Izzy
Because then
brothers
there's
on.
people, like, this shit's been proven.
Right.
Yeah.
I know.
Then there's people who are questioning whether or not they can listen to people like Michael Jackson.
Right. I'm listening.
I'm
sorry.
listening all day.
I'm not.
I
Well,
don't-
that one, even though he went to court and whatever, that one is still... That shit's still questionable. All this R. Kelly shit, we have proof. We got tapes. We got video. We got
Jesus Christ.
parents. We got women. We got all this shit, right?
And he got convicted. So I mean, there's. You
We
know
just
what
want
I'm
our
saying?
kids. Them too.
Stop.
But yeah, so I still think like
I'm
it's
still gonna
very
listen to Michael
hard to
Jackson
do
no matter
that.
what.
I think it's very
Even
hard
for
to
all the
separate
jazz
art from
happened with him,
artist.
his music's amazing. You know, I think it doesn't outweigh what, allegedly or whatever, but I'm still going to listen to Michael no matter what. I don't know, how is that different
Allegedly.
from, well, it's alleged compared to facts with R. Kelly.
Right.
But we, you know what I mean? Is that weird, that concept? Like, we can still listen to Michael even though it was in court and it wasn't proven, but in R. Kelly's case, it was proven, and we don't listen to him?
And I think that's the difference.
It's because it was... I mean, when that stuff started surfacing and it was proven, not only him, but all the people that surrounded him and were part of his...
entourage?
Camp were covering all of that up.
Right.
So it's like... That is definitely proven. There's people out there telling the stories.
Right.
This Michael Jackson stuff is like one-off allegations here and one-off allegations there. Right. And then I'm going to make a fucking whatever series 10 years after he's died. Like, you know, come on, man. So
and they didn't believe them either. Because,
that's a cash grab, and that's a stupid.
And it was stupid because they weren't believed, and his Michael Jackson's family sued them, and they had to take that Finding Neverland docuseries off of HBO, and they sued those dudes, and they won. So it's like,
even though the allegation was pretty much the same thing because it was,
but one was proven and one was not.
Right.
So,
and I'm not saying that the justice system always works.
No.
But what I am saying is we have some nasty facts about the R. Kelly shit, whereas we don't really have that many facts about the Michael Jackson stuff.
Because it's all
hearsay.
Hearsay, it's suggestions and all that. So
it's one side against the other.
R. Kelly stuff, he said, she said, shit, and that shit never works when it comes.
You and your
she
shears. But the R. Kelly thing, there's video.
There's proof, little audio, fucking video, shit.
But it's like I was saying. So, can you, or is it possible for people to hear something that is a good idea or is a good message or something that is rooted in goodness from a source that they may deem I don't want to say credible, but...
I was going to say credible.
A source that they don't deem is worthy of being heard or being...
given a chance.
Yeah. Well, it depends, because if you're an open-minded person, whether you like this person or not, if this statement or this statement in question on whether it's fact or not comes out and you're like, that's not true. But if you're an open-minded person, you're going to be like, well, wait a minute, is it true?
Right.
So... It depends. It highly depends on the person and the situation, because you can go to politics and take the same shit to politics, and this is why we're at each other's throats. You could talk about race or politics or whatever, and some things are black and white for people, and some things it doesn't matter whose mouth it comes out of, they're not going to change their mind.
Right.
I've always been a shade of gray guy because I have this uncanny ability to be like, I can separate, I'm like, I don't like you, but I will hear you, and I won't shut my ear to what you're saying, because if it sounds right to me or reasonable, I'm like, you know what, you're right. I still don't like you, but you're right. You know what I mean? I feel like I can do that. I can be very open-minded, whether I like you or not, or I think you're this, that, or whatever, because that's what you put out there in the world, your persona or whatever. But if you're really going to talk to me like a real person one-on-one, I'm going to hear you. I feel like I can do that.
Yeah.
A lot of people can't, because other people will hear one thing. Nope. I'm like, hear him out. Nah, I'm good. Come on.
That's the
closed-mindedness sucks.
Yeah, that's the issue. I think that's very hard for people to be able to do.
I think that's the huge issue. I think that's what keeps us against each other. Because when you have differing opinions, it's one side or the other, and you have two sides. Instead of being understanding to the other side and being like, you know what, I may not disagree with you, but I see why you see it that way, and at least I understand, and I can see that if I was in that position and I understand where you're coming from, I'm not going to make you out to be a villain. I'm going to let you have your opinion. And at the end of the day, it's like, okay, we agree to disagree. But we're not going to vilify the other side for believing what they believe, because it's like, I don't vilify you for believing in God, just like you you shouldn't vilify somebody who doesn't.
Right.
Or believes in a different God or whatever it is. Like,
Right.
we don't do that. So why can't we apply that to other things?
Yeah, every
day
Even
it
if you think it's fucking outlandish, like
Right.
this one for me is Scientology. Like, I think that's nuts. But
I know
But
nothing
that's
about it. I know.
but
it's,
if that's what you believe
what
in,
you
I
wanna
mean,
do.
There's some
that's
weird shit
fine.
in it,
Like,
but
Right.
I
you know.
can't. What am I gonna say?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah, like I don't know. It doesn't sound
my-
right to me, but
yeah.
it doesn't mean that it's
If you're
wrong.
not, if you're legitimately
I don't
not
get it.
hurting
That's my
anybody,
answer. Is I don't get it.
what
Yeah.
are you gonna like? What can I say?
Right. Yeah.
No, you. And what happens now? You say that?
Exactly. Like, have a great day.
Yeah.
Like, what are you gonna
Yeah,
say
I
at
just,
that point?
I just hate people who push their opinions on other people. That's what pisses me off. If you're gonna come with me with facts, awesome. Then I'll hear you. But if you're just throwing your fucking stubborn opinion at me, I'm gonna shut it down because I don't hear it. That's when I'll say I don't want to hear it, whether I like you or not.
Okay, I have a question. How long will you try, not to persuade somebody, but if you know somebody's wrong, because we had this happen recently. If you know somebody's wrong and they don't have the facts and they don't have the understanding.
Do we have that person?
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out.
He was not there.
Oh, damn, I
How
wish I
much
was.
effort do you put in and take to make this person understand the actual facts of what is going on? Because they're going off of
Bullshit.
what they don't know about.
That was the three, right? That situation. One telling one about.
No. This was the football team one. The Kaepernick one.
Oh, okay. You're right. Okay. For sure. All right.
So, how much effort do you put in to make sure that somebody knows the facts before you're like, I'm not getting through this person?
I almost forgot that happened.
To me, it depends if they want to hear it. Because a lot of people just like they're so stubborn in their way they don't want to hear it. And I'm just like I'm not gonna waste my energy if they don't want to hear what I'm saying. It's gonna fall on deaf ears. It depends on the situation.
Because what happened was at first this person was not hearing it, and they were repeating themselves, in the same statement.
I hate that.
And we had to break it down and be like, we get it, but it's the same situation for a different group of people.
Right. Yeah.
So it's like, when does it click?
When does it click?
When does it click?
Sometimes it doesn't.
I will say this was one particular special situation because
It seemed like it clicked.
They said it clicked.
Right.
I don't know if they.
Well, I mean, because then after that, we get back to, having fun and what have you. So then you don't talk about it again.
Okay.
So you just they leave you with that impression that it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
So you just.
But like, did it really?
Well, I mean, we don't.
But
know.
I feel
Yeah.
like the person that was advocating for a certain group of people is not going to go back to that group of people and share that piece of knowledge.
Oh no, of course not.
Which I think is complete and utter bullshit, because if you don't know that piece of knowledge, that means potentially all those other people don't know that piece of knowledge.
Right.
So if you just learned it and it actually did click for you, you should be
You
sharing
wanna
that with
share
other
it. Yeah,
people.
you want to share that.
Right. I think that was. I remember when all this was happening. That was a big topic. Like, I shouldn't. If you don't know something, it's not my job to educate you about it.
Right.
Because you have those resources and the means to go look it up for yourself. But in that same note, it's like, well, if you have the information that someone seems to be lacking, why wouldn't you? And you want to give them perspective and maybe help that person, because you never know what domino effect that could have. Why wouldn't you
Want to share it at least.
Yeah, I had time that night.
That,
So,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
He had
'Cause
time.
you have no idea
He
what
didn't have time. My fist was going to have time.
I want to know the story. But anyway,
You will.
We'll talk about it.
If the
We'll
facts
talk about it post.
happen, and you have to share the facts no matter what, whether you want to hear it or not, because it's going to help somebody
Yeah,
in anything.
yeah, but not everybody feels that way.
True that, yeah.
A lot of people are like, because it can be
I want to live in my
exhausting.
delusional world. Fuck everybody else.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, especially, let's just say, so this topic is race.
Right.
Or it's partially related to race and justice. And so if I'm saying this same piece of information over and over and over, and it's falling on deaf ears, or if I've been advocating for this for years, I'm going to get to a point where I'm like, fuck this.
Yeah.
Nobody is listening and nobody gives a fuck. So at that point, I can't really argue and say, like, you still need to be educating people, because you don't. Like, at this point, like, you spent so much time doing so, it's not your job anymore.
Right. It's out there now. So if you are still asking this question, that the answer is out there for you to find on your own, and you haven't been trying to hear it, I don't have the time to help you figure it out, because it's there. You just don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
You're right.
Or you don't want to, like, find out for yourself.
Yeah.
Where it's literally in your fingertips.
Yeah, everything's at your fingertips.
Literal fingertips.
So yeah.
That's just laziness then. Just like, fuck, you're fucking lazy.
And a lot of people are.
Yeah. You just can't.
But
you don't have to get up. Your fingers are moving. Sit.
But see, in that scenario, right? Let's say that person didn't. Not to say that this person does what I'm about to say, but let's say that, because we know someone like that as well, who would never have given me the time of day to explain that to them. Mm-hmm. Right? So imagine that conversation if I had that with that person, knowing that at the end of the day, they don't care what I have to say. So they would hear the message that I'm giving, and not, even though they may not like me for whatever reason, they wouldn't be able to separate me from the message that I'm giving.
That's what I feel.
Yeah.
So that's the other side of that. Like, someone has to be willing to, I don't particularly care for this person. Let me hear what you got to say. I can refute it or whatever, but I have to be able to receive it, let it process, and then go, okay, well, here's what I think about that. And I think that's very hard for people to do.
Oh, I definitely think it's very difficult for people to do.
Because there's a lot of, like, celebrities out there that I don't want to hear nothing from ever again. And it's not really celebrity. It's more like YouTubers.
Right.
You know what I mean? One comes as, was it just Logan Paul?
Right.
That guy, after what he did the whole Japan thing.
Right.
I don't give a fuck what he says, whether it's true or not. That's one thing to me, like, no, I don't care.
Because I'm saying that.
Yeah,
that would
if
be
he
an
said
example.
something to me, like, if he talked to me personally and he dropped me with some facts, falling on deaf ears.
Well, like, okay, so.
Will I be able to separate it from his message to no, because I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. About. Because
so you would have to
have
have some level of respect for the person in order to
I don't,
hear.
because you lost that respect because it's unforgivable, the thing you just did. The thing you did. That's not cool.
No, I agree with you. What he did.
So there's some things that's unforgivable, and that's the thing that's, if that instantly a negative thought or a negative thing happened, that first thing that pops in my head, I'm like, yeah, no.
I don't want to be a dick, but what could he possibly say that would be factual or have any relevancy?
No, I'm just saying, like, if he did, like, had.
I know. I'm just.
Yeah,
I was like, nah, it's never gonna happen.
But that's the perfect example of it. Is that he has somebody in his mind that was like, you know, sky's blue. Nope. It's not blue. No.
Yeah.
You said that? No.
I don't believe it.
It's fucking orange. Like.
Yeah. Like, huh? What about when the sun sets, huh? Now it's orange and it's purple and it's red. See, you're a fucking liar and I hate you and your guts and you stink.
I can see that, yeah.
So I mean, like that's the issue.
That's
You know what I mean? Because what if he said, you know, your body is 70% water?
Kiss my ass.
No, it's not.
It's 69. 71.
It's 69.7%. You fucking liar. And I hate you and you stink.
I made an iron, bitch.
Hope you get knocked out.
Okay, well, how about
you get knocked out talking all your shit? Fuck you.
So, do you think that Dave Chappelle's latest stand-up fell on deaf ears? Because he didn't, in my opinion, he did not directly attack any community, but he was trying to explain his logic for why he said the things that he said in the past.
Right.
And make it funny at the same time, because he's on stage to do that.
It didn't catch me, the community he was in. I'm like, none of this sound offensive or any way, shape, or form.
But you're also not part of that community, so it's a little harder to tell.
I probably wouldn't understand it because I'm not part of it, so they probably see a different light.
But I do think that since there's a past there, it's hard to hear the message and the explanation
Right.
instead of who's saying it.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's a great example.
There was a bit that to me was a little touchy. It was an Asian joke. I saw it with Michelle. Michelle hated that. She was mad when she heard what he said about. I forgot what bit it was.
He's a fucking comedian.
Yeah, I know, I
y'all.
get it. No, but yeah, I get it though. But it's like I saw it, I giggled, but I thought about it, I'm like, ooh, that's a little touchy.
So, because he's black.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know he is. I know he is.
To a Filipino woman.
So he's
I know
black
he
and
is.
can't make an Asian joke, but an Asian comedian can make an Asian and a black joke.
Yeah.
That
what
makes
I'm
no
saying.
sense.
Yeah. Like I said, it hit me. Yeah, it was touchy, but I didn't take offense.
I don't remember the bit though.
I don't. Yeah, I forgot what he said though, but because I remember the thing that when I was watching Michelle, she goes,
talked about
"Fuck that."
He talked about.
I was like, "Whoa."
About the attacks on Asian people.
Yeah,
he did mention that, but
yeah,
I don't
like,
remember what.
Yeah, I forgot what bit. No,
what
because I forgot what it was because I remember Michelle getting really upset
about that
over that bit, whatever the punchline, whatever it was. But I heard it and I remember feeling, that's funny, but ooh, that's a little touchy.
Well,
but he did what he did, and I didn't find it offensive.
That's what comedians do, though.
Yeah, they're meant to make you think,
but
and which I appreciated. I still listen to Dave Chappelle no matter what. He's still a funny man.
Okay, so here's
that man's not getting canceled. I don't know.
He's not. I don't know what. Yeah,
it's about to happen, but it's not going to happen.
And I showed you the lady who was doing the movement and all the tweets that
she did. She was going. Yeah.
Ooh, look at that one, motherfucker.
But, okay, see
her racist and homophobic self. Yep. Yeah, she is a. Never mind.
Okay, see, that's another thing.
Yeah.
So she has this message
to
cancel Dave Chappelle because of things that she and the transgender community deem to be transphobic
or
and
super offensive, all that jazz,
and degrading and all that stuff, right? And there's a lot of people who feel that way, right?
Right.
But looking into her past, you understand that this person isn't necessarily credible,
and it's not that far back.
Right?
Yeah,
it's like 3 years ago.
Yeah, 2018.
But the things she's not credible for applied to the situation. So, like, if she was trying to be credible for wigs for bald people, I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, like, advocating that you should donate your hair because it's really helpful, even though people say it's not, whatever. Okay, like, let's say that's what it was.
And then she's like, fuck you bald motherfuckers.
No. And she was, and the other tweets from her past were not relevant to what she's advocating. It wouldn't matter. I would still be willing to listen to this argument. This message makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
But if you contradict yourself and try to be the leader of a movement,
right,
and they find you out,
and
I'm not saying cancel you. I'm just saying you lose your credibility. It's like a journalist fucking publishing,
fabricating a story.
Yeah, like you lose credibility. Nobody wants to read your stuff.
Yeah, or they don't want to hear what you're saying because look at all the shit you said in the past. You're just being a hypocrite. I mean, that's one thing I hate the most is hypocrite. Like if you're gonna be
over there.
I know. Sorry.
Oh no.
If you're gonna be one thing, be the one thing, good or bad. Don't be a hypocrite about it.
You can't be just good or bad.
You can be a little bit of both.
It's not necessarily about being good or bad. Like
you can 60-40 it.
Everybody has questionable.
That's about right.
Yeah,
60-40
or two.
Yeah.
I'm questionable as a motherfucker, and I know it, and I'll never hide it.
But I think that's the gray area.
Yeah,
because it's like,
that's where I live.
Am I willing to listen to this person? Yes. Am I willing to listen to this person on these topics that they have deemed themselves not credible on because they have showed the opposite behavior of what they're trying to advocate for? No, not until they acknowledge and explain this.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so let me go back. I won't say specifically, but he brought up something that
what did I bring up?
Someone got mad at a particular thing that was said in that stand-up, right?
Right.
Now, if you talk to other people, there are a few things that have been that were controversial or that may not have gone over well. Mm-hmm. So now my question becomes: Is there the empathy for those other controversial topics along with the one that hits directly to you? Or is it just because that one
bit got you.
one struck a nerve with you? That's the one that you're like, oh, I don't like.
I think that's what happens.
Because I agree. Because let's say, because he didn't say any of this stuff, but I'm just going to say it for the sake of argument, right? So let's say he says something controversial about Asian people. He says something controversial about white people. He says something controversial about
He hates
transgender. Right?
Not really, but
but you see what I'm saying, right? Like,
Yeah.
So like I feel like he gave everybody. He gave black people. He gave everybody,
He hit everybody.
a little bit of something.
Yeah,
so
he hit
that
everybody.
They couldn't say he just targeted this people. He just targeted those people. He gave everybody a little slap in the mouth, be like, "Yo, I'm
and
here
the thing
for
is
everybody."
I don't think he intended to do that either. I think he was going back and explaining all the reasons they tried to cancel him,
Right.
but all the reasons he's still here and why he said the things that he said while making it funny.
Right.
Yeah.
So what was your question?
So like I said, he gave everybody a little bit of something, right? So then does the nerve that was struck because it pertains directly to you, what about those other ones that
Will you show the same amount of?
yeah.
No.
That's
People do not show the same amount of sympathy.
No.
And I'm not saying that you're not entitled to feel the way
something
you
that-
feel.
yeah.
Like,
Oh,
you
yeah,
can be
for sure.
pissed about it. You can not like what he said. Like, you are completely entitled to your feelings.
right.
But until you know that he's intending it for... His intent is for that statement to be completely malicious towards those people and actually hurt those people directly. You can't say shit. He's standing on a stage doing comedy.
Yep.
And to me, that applies to anybody everywhere.
In front of a bunch of people that he's actually talking about.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I feel like
And there were people pissed in that
there were
audience.
people in the front row
Yeah.
with the stank face.
Yeah, they were
But it's
not
like-
laughing, and I'm over here busting my ass
Yeah.
But it's
laughing.
like if
I was
you've
too.
seen the other 5 specials before this, or
You
if
wouldn't
know
be
his-
surprised.
If you know his comedy before, like like he's, I don't want to say Paul Mooney because Paul Mooney did stuff just to anger people and see if they would get up and
You
leave.
get a reaction,
So that's
yeah.
different.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, he doesn't do that.
he's
No.
on the like I'm gonna say something, and if you're here, good. I want you to hear this. How do you take in what I'm saying? How do you react to it? And I think that's what's so genius about him. Like,
Yeah.
not afraid to go, okay, Asian, I got something for you. How you like that? You don't like that? Okay. Black people, I got something for you too. Don't think you safe
You
just
safe
because,
'cause
just
of you.
because we in the same community here. You get some of this too. I've been talking about white people for years. So continue to get this. And here we are to the
Yeah.
LGBTQ plus community. So I think that
I think the other problem is when somebody's talking, the second people hear something they don't want to hear, they instantly
they
tune out.
Yeah.
So you could have heard him say some fucked up statement about LGBTQ, but did you watch the rest of it?
Or
did you
hear-
absorb the rest of it?
Yeah.
Or did you just sit there and hear what was said and not
and
Yeah.
and now it's
not
like
listen to the things he was
Yeah.
explaining or whatever? So
I don't care about anything else you had to say because you said this one thing that
and it's stuck and it's
that hit me in a soft spot, and now I'm like, I don't want to hear any more. of
it
this.
doesn't even have to be a comedian or anybody out there. It happens every
Every
fucking
day.
day.
It does.
People tune out the second they hear something they don't want to hear, whether it's about themselves, whether it applies to an opposing view that they quote unquote don't believe it because they don't want to hear the other side. They will tune out immediately.
Yeah, because what was that?
Yeah,
One of the many sayings, like, people want real, but when real happens, everyone like bitches. Or
Oh, yeah.
cry, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, like those
everybody wants real until it gets real or
Yeah,
some shit
some
like
shit,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. Until the real gets real,
Yeah,
like
the real
it's
gets-
like
yeah,
yeah.
just
I
like,
mean,
yeah.
it's
I want
very
you to be,
true.
I want you to be true and real.
Yeah.
But then when you hear it, I'm like, I don't want it no more.
Yeah.
Don't ask for it then.
But
Yeah.
a lot of people can
Yeah.
also dish it out, but they can't take it.
Yeah.
Right.
They're like, I'm gonna give you the real, but
I'm
you
gonna
can't
give you
give
the
it
real,
back.
but yeah, you can't
Yeah.
because you're.
Excuse me?
Yeah, I'm gonna give it back.
Exactly.
You told me
I
some
thought
real.
this was mutual. Like what?
Mutual my ass.
Go here. Hit me with the truth, and then I'm gonna go here.
I'm gonna skip right past it. I'll get to the end of the conversation. See if you're saying something that I finally like again.
But you see in this hand is a rebuttal. I'm about to go back to you.
Yeah. So
What about you? Can you separate
I think I can to a degree.
Yeah.
I think for me, I'm more willing to try and listen to the other side or listen to an opposite opinion or anything like that or whatever message, because like you just never know. Even, and I think people are afraid to do that because they might hear something from someone that they are opposite from or have never agreed with, and hear something that that's not actually half bad, and then you go,
Right.
oh, now I'm identifying with this, and I can't, so it has to be a no.
Right.
And I think people are afraid of that, just because you
Identifying with somebody that they've
Yeah.
not had anything in
Uh-huh.
in
And then all of a
common
sudden,
with for so long.
yeah,
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
yeah,
But
it's. I mean, that's a work in progress for me.
Yeah, the same here.
In terms of like trying to make that an everyday, every situation thing. 'Cause sometimes you're like, I
don't wanna hear
know
this
you're full of
shit.
shit. I'm not. You can say it to me, but I'm just gonna be. It's gonna.
well, there are some
You know,
specific people
right.
that you know are just
Are
trolling
just-
and saying
yeah,
shit just
yeah.
to say shit.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you have to do that.
Right.
Because you're like, this isn't even really
Yeah,
what you think.
You can't absorb everything.
Yeah, because like I said earlier,
That's
but
tough.
for me, it's easier for me to do because I'm more fascinated by their answer. Like what?
What prompted you to come up with that shit?
Yeah,
Let
like
me know.
yeah. I don't want. That's why I want to delve more into the mind. Like, yo, how did you get there? Like, that's more. That's how I feel like I'm more open.
So you do it as an exploratory
Yeah.
thing. We're like,
Yeah,
what? Huh?
yeah.
Tell me more.
I do that
explain-
with you
yeah.
a lot because I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, explain that to me a little bit more. And I never want to lose. I've never lost that because I feel like I have it all the time. Like, because
Yeah.
I love hearing two sides. I love playing devil's advocate. We all do.
Yeah, I wanna
we
know
love
more.
it. I want to know more.
How did you?
It's like a short, brief lesson.
Yeah, and I'm like,
And I mean, I'm
like,
not
ooh,
saying
fire.
it's all facts, but
And then-
sometimes
and
you
then-
think, okay,
and
well,
then-
I'll check if this is facts
Yeah,
later,
yeah,
but
and then-
this is intriguing. Let me hear
Right?
this now.
Even if it's wrong,
And then I can-
I want to know your thought process.
And if I can adapt that into my own fucking fire.
Well,
I love
sometimes
it.
you
Yeah.
can see somebody's thought process, and you're like,
I know
this
you know where
is
it's
so
going.
not true.
Yeah, it's like wow. I
That be some bullshit.
I can just see bullshit coming out your mouth.
bullshit.
But sometimes you have to listen to
Yeah.
somebody first in order to get them to listen to you,
Right.
which is crazy to
Right.
me. But
Right. How come I can't talk first? Let me say
No,
my
I'm
shit
just saying,
so I
like,
can shut you down.
not even
'cause you're just
necessarily
bullshit.
talk first, but just to get them
Yeah,
to
just
process
just
what
to
you're
open the-
saying
just to
instead
open
of
up the
just like
dialogue,
listening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're not reasonable people. That's what it is.
I just thought of
Fuck
something.
us.
A lot of assholes
I
out
just
there.
thought of something right now.
So,
So
Okay, y'all both like so. Okay, so I mean, you took psychology and got a degree and all that good stuff, right? Mm-hmm. Now, is that true that? So they say that if you speak faster when you're trying to convince somebody of something, that you're more likely to convince them or sway them to your side because you're speaking faster and they don't get a chance to process what you're saying all the way and come up with a rebuttal. So they just are like they're more likely to
agree.
go
Yeah.
to agree or go along, or you're more likely to get what you're
they're more
asking
inclined
for
to. Yeah.
because you haven't given them the space and the time to think of why they shouldn't agree or don't want to do that. Is that true? Come on,
No.
I gotta know what you do.
no.
It's like feet fast. She just goes, yes, shit.
And a lot of the time,
What do you want from me?
well, it is true in the aspect like
I don't
if
wanna
you
make a
talk too
decision.
fast, they're just gonna be like, yeah, because they don't have. But it doesn't.
Yeah.
But it
Show
doesn't
you right.
necessarily mean that they actually agree.
This
Do you know
is
what I'm saying? Like, they don't have time to go back and process this 2.5 minutes that you
Well,
just
that-
spit at them really fucking fast.
When I see
And
this
I didn't have a chance to list the stuff that I wanted to
when I see this
rebut.
face, yeah, it's bullshit. Yeah.
You got sometimes you gotta be like,
That's what people do.
you gotta tell
But-
us.
Oh, you're not hearing anything
But
I'm
the-
saying.
Slow down. You're talking like Bone Thugs and Harmony.
So the reason most people will agree with you is because people don't like confrontation. So
Either
a
that
lot
or
of
they're- either that or
times
they're loud.
it's not.
And then it just-
Yeah. Either
People will cower.
So either it's not necessarily that you're speaking fast. It could be. So it's either you're speaking fast or they don't want confrontation. If
Or
you're
you-
speaking too fast, I literally don't have time.
Right.
And I'm just gonna be like, oh yeah,
Or-
that makes sense. whether it makes sense or not, because I'm not going to go, hey, you just spoke for 45 straight seconds spitting fire at me. Can you repeat that? I'm just going to be like, oh, yeah, cool. Like
Either that or you have the aggressive tone, because tone is what gets a lot of people like, oh, you don't like your tone.
Some people won't hear what you're saying because the tone in which you're saying
or you're just aggressive,
to them.
or you just give that aggressive vibe and like.
But a lot of those like mannerisms and shit that they say that is like supposed to be related to psychology, like you look up and to the left when you're lying, or you blink too many times, or you whatever.
Oh yeah, I heard that if you blink
or
too
you
much,
twitch, like none of that shit is true.
No, or if you blink too much, that means you're not listening.
Oh, how about the old one where if you cross your hand, you're being defensive? Is that true?
That's body language.
Yeah,
and
body,
yes. That, I mean, not necessarily defensive, but
you're like
you're closing down.
You're closing, you're shutting down.
Yeah, so like a lot of people, if you're like in an intense conversation intense disagreement most of the time with them, and somebody crosses their arms, their body language is telling you like I'm done, I'm shutting down. Okay. I don't want I don't want anything to do with this.
Got you.
Say it with your chest. I'm gonna take everything you say. I'm here for it. Let's go.
Anything else?
Anything else? You
got
something to say?
No, I said everything I'll say. What? Or you talk unintelligibly. There, I can't even say that word correctly. But you say words as yeah. Like you just make noise.
Word.
That's what a lot of people do.
Yep. You're right.
That happens
not
to
really.
me a lot in at the bar.
When it's too loud,
it's loud.
Yeah.
And like people want to have this like full on discussion, but they're not speaking above the music, and so they're like where the camera is, and they're like, so did it? And I'm like,
yep.
Making out word, reading lips.
Yeah.
Oh,
I don't know how to read lips.
Oh, hell yeah.
Or they're in your ear.
You've done that shit to me.
Or they're in your ear with a hot breath.
About? I don't know what they're talking about.
Or they're in your ear with a hot breath. I'm like, oh god.
Oh my god. my earlobe is moist.
Right.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Inside
Why is the word moist sound weird to people?
It's so breathy. Just
no, I mean the hot in my ear is disgusting. The word moist I could care less about.
I don't know why people find that word
choice to be
that word.
No more moist sea.
Oh, I know, right? Whack.
I think he's going back to the shaman.
The shot was his parkourness.
Yeah. But anywho's that was wrestling.
Yeah, for 2 seconds.
That was John Morrison.
Yeah.
Now listen, this ain't no make believe. Come on, open up your eyes and see.
All right.
I
don't have hair.
So try and listen to others and see if the message is worth separating from the messenger. Or, don't
be more open-minded.
Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Yeah. Be a little bit more
Comment
open-minded.
and let us know what situations and people you're more likely to listen to and not actually listen to or consider listening to.
Word.
Or taking facts from. Like, how do you feel about listening to some of the stuff Kanye says?
Or the Dave Chappelle thing.
Let me know.
So if you get an opportunity, if you got 2 hours and 24 minutes of your day open, listen to or watch Drink Champs with Ye. If you got an hour, watch Dave Chappelle, The Closer.
Yep.
And see if the messages that are being relayed, can you receive them?
First of all, can you get through the whole thing?
Yeah.
Right. Can you get through the whole thing?
Without being super offensive and turn it off.
But even if you
Not
get
even offensive,
even
but
if you
just
get offended, can you
still keep listening?
Keep listening.
And processing what he's saying.
And can you laugh? Because you're just like,
right.
Grumpy
You
face.
have to hear. You have to watch these things in their entirety to get the entirety of what they're saying. Because clips and clickbait and sound bites, those are just done for a specific reason.
Those are just moments.
It's to get you to react right away and either go, I have to watch to see what bullshit they're gonna say.
You need the whole picture.
I have to watch to figure out what else is happening.
Whole picture, guys.
Right, whole picture.
Whole picture.
So if you get a chance, watch those things, listen to those things. Email us at meandnem03@gmail.com. That is meandnem03@gmail.com. And with that being said, I think we'll go ahead and sign off.
Anything else you gotta say, Savoy?
What else is in the podcast, Darren?
We're gonna come up with a catchphrase, Darren.
Today is not the day.
So yeah,
Not today, Ryan.
hopefully episode 70, Taryn will have her. She gonna come with something.
Oh, she come
No
with fire.
promises.
She
No
gonna come with
promises.
something. It's gonna blow our faces
hot
off.
shit.
Me and
That's the end of the. That's the end of the episode.
Ray and I will be doing the podcast with our faces blown off. It's just gonna be skeleton in the face like a cartoon.
If that does happen, we just get some fake skeletons and put them in the chair. That's a bit. We just don't do that.
No, because like whoa, it's two skeletons.
Yeah, just
We're just gonna turn the heads.
so then at you and put mine like this.
That's fucking awesome. We
Oh
gonna
my God.
we gonna do that shit. That shit gonna get done.
That's fire.
All right, so
I'm gonna hire me a ghostwriter.
yes, Ghost Rider, Flow Tider.
I am the ghostwriter.
Ooh, oh shit.
Oh snap!
Oh, that's where
I
all the
just
artists
don't write
go.
very well for
I
myself.
was gonna say
I don't get that. How's that? You can't write for something good for you.
that's easy.
That's easy.
It's
That's
easy to
really
write
easy.
for somebody else than
Is
for
it?
yourself. Yes, that's the easiest thing. I think it's easier to be a writer than because. Now we're getting music tangent.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
sorry.
Because
But yeah, no,
when
that's-
you
we'll save that,
write
we'll save-
when you
Chop,
no
chop,
no
chop,
no no
we'll save
we
it.
got
Oh,
we
okay.
got
We got
when you
none.
write for someone else, you don't necessarily have to write specifics. You can write in generalizations, and then they can, you know, what I'm
Pick-
saying,
pick-
yeah,
pick and
they
choose,
can
yeah.
tweak it for
Mhm.
them and this and that. Oh, this relates to me in some way. Cool, chota, do what you got to do. Writing for yourself is, I think, more vulnerable because that's your own feelings.
Yeah.
That's like, okay, well, now when I put this out there,
People are gonna know
People-
why I wrote
yeah,
it,
people
especially
are-
if they know I wrote it.
right? So this is a piece of me that is on,
Or
that
maybe
is
it's
on
not,
watching
but they're
people.
gonna assume that it is.
Right, yeah. Even if it's
Oh no,
not,
I'm
they're gonna assume that that's.
this is me. I'm gonna let them know it's me.
But yeah, it's way easier to write from. I can write for you,
I can write for
generalize something for you, and you be like, yeah, that's dope. And then that's easy. Or you could write for me, you could
Yeah.
write for her. But
I can write for me. I know.
yeah, but then all the pressure and the scrutiny comes
That's fine.
upon you because it's like, oh, you wrote it, you sang it, so
He
that
says
must
that
be
now.
Yeah, it is me.
you. Even if it's not you.
Well, whether you like it or not, it is.
What if you was like, I like dragons and.
Oh shit.
I mean, not to say there's something wrong like dragons because we like dragons,
I fucking
but
love
just saying, like,
I
what-
need me a
If,
baby
if
dragon.
dragons were real, I want one.
but like let's
Yeah.
okay, so let's say I mean even like unicorns go too, whatever. Well, let's say you didn't like unicorns, but you wrote a song and it had
About
unicorns,
unicorns?
and they were like, oh, look at Ray, he like unicorns. I don't like unicorns, but you wrote in the song, you sang it, but I don't like them. Well, it's too late. See, you just got to deal with this. That's the voice.
That's you.
Oh
That's
my
you're the
God.
unicorn guy.
Yeah, that's the voice that people use. But I didn't do it. Yes, you did. But it wasn't me. Yes, it was. Oh, shit.
Oh my
I
god!
got receipts.
All right. So we're about to lose a member. So all right. So we're gonna wrap up. This has been episode 69.
Ooh.
One time for your mind of the Meaning Podcast. I am the boy with the rhyme. I am Savoy.
I'm Rain.
And I'm Taryn.
Catchphrase coming soon.
Stay tuned.
Incoming.
Stay tuned for that.
All right, y'all.
Get hyped.
69 and feeling fine.
All right, you gonna bring levity for episode 70?
Maybe.
Bars. All right, so we out of here. Peace.
Deuce.